Ladies and gentlemen, this is Frank Donga. You are already listening to Boom Radio. Just leave the dial there. Settle down. Listen to it. Open your ear. Don't touch it now. Boom Radio. Live and direct. Frank Donga in the building.
Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. It is the Boom Bar right here on your Boom Radio NG. My name is a little bit, not a some actually, quite a number of allegations going around from Dele Momodu talking about it to Edo State. There's a lot of conversation coming from Edo State as well. There's a few news here and there that we're going to be talking about. Also, Nigerians seem to have a lot to say about Davido's interview that we are also going to get into. A few updates here and there about a few things that had happened over the weekend, a bit of politics also, sports, and a bit of entertainment. So sit back, relax as we enjoy today's show. My name is Ola Dolupo. I bid you a warm welcome to the bar today. And with me in the studio is Sola Rogers.
Good morning, good afternoon. It's always a pleasure to be here.
Alrighty. So we're getting straight into today's show. First things first. Mr. Dele Momodu, who we can say, if I'm correct, PDP's used to be PDP presidential candidate, have he? Yes, no? Yeah, he was. At that point, he used to be PDP's presidential candidate. He moved and he was one of the, not candidates, aspirants actually, because he did not win any form of primaries. However, he's now put out, he had an interview and there were quite a number of allegations. He's talking about how he did not win he did not get one single delegate. He didn't get one single vote in that primaries. He said that he had paid for a 50 million naira form. Please, is there something other than ovation that Mr. Dele Momodu does? I'm sure it does more than that because I'm like, seriously? Anyway, Sha. So he specifically now said that money is down the drain as he has invested 50 million naira into the PDP presidential race then, and he lost. He did not get one single vote. However, the more interesting one is that a particular aspirant spent a little over $23 million, where people got as much as $30,000 each for him to have won the ticket.
Okay, well, he didn't say that was the person that won. He just said that a particular aspirant spent
that much money.
$30,000 times 774. Meanwhile, if you take a look at the results of their primaries in the PDP, I think the winner, Atiku, got 371, and Wike got 200 and something. You get? So at some point in time, it doesn't add up. Is it that 774 people collected money?
Yeah, and not everybody
and they
voted.
didn't deliver.
Yeah, maybe.
Or it's just a
but
figment.
would it have been an absolute win? Wouldn't it also look funny?
So for me, if I was going to be giving you $30,000, it better be an absolute.
Put your life on the line.
So maybe we'll do it in a 60-40 format. I'm not encouraging bribe, but I'm just saying that if you are going to invest $23 million to win a party's presidential, nomination, in fact, let's even backtrack. I'll just use that money to go and buy one of these parties. And just, run my own campaign. Maybe I'll win. Just maybe. Okay, you're buying the structure also. Okay, all right, I get that. But, it's actually many things. It's very sad. Mr. Momodu in his interview went on to talk about how the monies are untraceable because they are not in banks. This is the crux of the matter. This is the issue that Nigeria really has. He also said something like
30,
some
20,
politicians will have as much as
$500
$500 million in cash.
Wait, do the owners of the dollars, do they even have that kind of cash?
In America, how would anybody be able to keep that kind of money and not be arrested at this point? Do you understand? You know, it's strange when you hear all these figures, but it's not impossible. Because, again, every time you hear about these dollars, it's almost as if Nigeria's main currency is the dollar. And the naira is the one that tries to force its way in.
Even if
maybe
currency is the dollar, like I said, even that dollar, how we all know that is not. How is it that you do not own the dollar have that much liquid dollars floating around? Like, make it make sense. And you know what? Like you said, I don't think if I'm going to give you $30,000, you're not going to, because if Mr. Dele Momodu's allegations are true. However, I think that Mr. Dele Momodu is just pained that maybe he was hoping that since he didn't win, they probably would have returned his 50 million naira to him.
Yeah. He also said something to that effect, that if he's ever going to contest, he will only go as a consensus candidate, that is not going to use his money to ever buy any of those type of forms again.
Yeah, I get his point. However, I think that on his own part, I think Mr. Dele Momodu was either very delusional. Or, yeah.
He's a politician. No.
Politicians always hold on. Let me say something.
No.
Please, can I say something?
Okay.
Let's take the PDP, for example. Yeah. Okay, let's even go to the PDP so that we don't assume. Let's go to the APC. Okay, so there's the current president now, President Bola Tinubu. There was the vice president, the then vice president, which we thought that was going to do a lot better, but apparently he didn't even do as well as a lot of people thought he was going to do. There was the former Minister of Transportation, Rotimi Amici. There were quite a number of people. Then, remember, there was the former Minister of Women Affairs. Yeah. And a few other people. See, I mentioned about 3-4 people, which it's not like we knew that maybe some people will win or some people will not win. But you knew that at least these people were going to pull their weights, not just pull their weight. If they pulled out from the race, they were going to at least have. You cannot be a candidate of and have a level of reputation, and out of 774 delegates, you don't have one single vote. So what exactly were you doing? I'm not a politician. I don't know the inner workings of the PDP. However, even from us looking out, it was obvious that Mr. Dele Momodu had no chance. What was he doing? What did he think was going to happen? That's where my issue is. Like, I know that they say that.
Why are you so sure that he had no chance?
He did not, did he? Did he? He didn't. Is he not? Okay, no, it's not him. It's him now. It's him that before that contested that he did not win under another party. That even the people in his own compound did not vote.
I think it was Labour Party.
Even the people in his own compound. I think they remember that conversation. I remember then the polling units in front of his house. When there were 11 people in front of his inside in his compound. Sorry. They all went to vote, and he didn't even get as much as 11 votes. That's the least that could happen. That's the worst betrayal. If people in your own house, not everybody in your house, which I'm guessing he was probably feeding and taking care of, did not even believe in him enough. Come on. It's that people that don't know you, that will not believe in you. I think the daddy was a little delusional. Not a little, a lot delusional. So that's where I have a problem with him. Let's be, as much as, yes, they say that politicians are incurable optimists, let's add a bit of realism with our optimism. That's a bit of common sense. But that's on his own part. Number 2, I know that politicians do a lot of things, but $30,000 per person to get a ticket that you're not even sure you're winning the presidency, I think reeks of a lot of desperation. That's one. And why do I say so is, how after you spend this money, whoever the person is, after you spend this money, and then you now hear, when you now see a lot of people where that a lot of money was siphoned during when some of these candidates win the elections. Because how do you recoup all that money? $30,000 per person. A little over $23 million just for a ticket that you're not sure you're getting. What's it called? It's literally, and that's minus maybe campaign money, and do you understand? Transport, logistics, feeding, what's it called? Stationery, they're doing posters, that's minus that. That is just $23,000 for money for each candidate. It reeks of nothing. That's the height of desperation. And I think that it is at this point, the CBN needs to get, they need.
It's an investment.
Investment did not pay off. At least PDP did not.
Not all investments pay off.
At least PDP. That's some crazy amount of investment for it not to pay off.
And that's why they keep trying. Okay. So that they can recoup everything they spent through the years.
But isn't that just scary?
Question is, where did they get the money from?
Just like, isn't that just scary enough? And I know that maybe a lot of people will say that the CBN people too are involved, but I think that we need to be able to build our systems. We need to be able to build our agencies to a point where it's devoid. It might not be now. It might take a while. Devoid of what's it called? Politics, or whereby systems, places like the EFCC, even the CBN needs to, the amount of this money. Because EFCC, I'm sorry, but EFCC cannot tell me that they did not know this thing was happening. If we lay people, do you understand, heard of the not even heard of the gist, it was all over social media how somebody went for PDP primaries, came back, bought car, paid fees for people in his constituent. Do you understand? Yeah. It was all over social media. There was no.
Oh, as a delegate now to these big parties, these APCs and PDPs of the world, when the delegates come back home, they get money.
Do you understand?
And they also have to settle people that.
So the PDP, the EFCC, the ICBC, the CBN, all these agencies cannot say they do not know these things were going on.
So what are they doing?
So what were they doing about it? You don't know how much money, how this money got to these people's hands. But I'm sure that there's a level of illegality that goes into sharing this kind of monies. Because now the conversation should be, where did you get this amount of cash?
Yeah, if a Dele Momodu is saying that some people have as much as $500 million that's not in the bank, and those are the kind of monies that Nigeria's economy actually needs.
Do you get? So what are we now doing? Well, let's stop deceiving ourselves. They'll tell you, okay, bring your own. Is it your $100 or $200 they need? Max, maybe you have like $1,000 or $200 or $2,000 in the bank. Will not let us hear word. This, like, what are we now doing? I think that it's just ridiculous. It is ridiculous. It is scary when we actually break things down and see like the ripple effects these kind of things would have. It is crazy, and how costly elections are, and how desperate people are willing to go just to get a ticket. Not even win the election, to get a ticket. It's crazy. It's just crazy. Anyway, maybe that's why I'm not a politician, because I cannot, my money, I'm too calculative for some things. Anyway,
23 million just to bribe. They would have chartered planes.
Do you understand? That's what I'm saying.
Room,
there's so much
feeding,
costing that goes into the campaign itself. So this one is just to give delegates gifts. And so that wasn't it. Like you said, not everybody vote out. You must be bastards. You must be bastard. If you will not return that body, you have to return that body. Do you understand? So it is really crazy. It is crazy. But anyway, we'll see where this conversation is going to go to. I won't hold my breath and say that, oh, the EFC is going to talk, or the ICPC is going to say something, or the CBN. But because on a normal day, even if they didn't know before, for you to throw out this kind of allegation, you should be able to defend it. So this kind of thing that on a normal day, normally you would expect the EFCC to say something about, but I won't hold my breath, but we'll see. We'll see on that. Now, moving on from that, let's go to a bit of conversations to the states. So first things first, before we go to even the gist, there's a video that's going around where the governor of Ebonyi State was said to be on his way, I think somewhere, and he stopped and he saw stationery and stuff and vaccines that were needed for private primary healthcare centers that were being sold by civil servants. Interestingly, almost at the end of the video, we saw people kneeling down and begging.
It's the devil's work.
And you know that the funny, honest truth is, it is that singular act that pisses me off. Because it's suddenly the devil's work.
Yeah, so according to the governor of Ebonyi State, he said he had seen those vehicles there a couple of times. But he just decided to stop over at that government facility. And
like, what's
voila,
this thing doing here?
There they are, loading up vehicles, trucks and stuff to go and sell government property. And we still come back to say we need this and we need that. Maybe they're even going to sell it back to the government itself. You never can
Probably.
tell. We are our own problem. As much as, okay, look, we're constantly calling out the governors for not doing enough. Even the people in the civil service, the sad part is, I don't see how this thing is going to end well. I don't know how the civil service is going to change overnight. And if they don't move away from what they usually do,
it's not going to work.
How's this country going to improve? You know, so it's crazy. You're selling government property.
And you're comfortable with it. Like, you know, okay, before you say that, I'm always talking about crime, but see, as bad as it is, let's not lie. Everything or this matter is not right nice. However, if you are selling other things, it might be okay. It's not okay, but it might still be passable. Health, vaccines. Are you kidding? Like, it is the sheer wickedness for me. At times I'm like, how do these people sleep at night? You know, if you say, okay, people built a road or they fixed a road and it's substandard. You know that you in the long run, you'll be like, that road is going to spoil quickly. People would have accidents. You know, there's a ripple effect, which is not nice as well. However, the one that the people are needing in the immediate, things for hospitals, it's almost like as if people have just... And you know the funny thing, I saw one person had posted that video. The sadder part for me is, and I went to the comments, and I saw a few people with, that's how the governors are too. Somebody had said, it's because the governors are put an enabling environment. I wanted to run mad. I'm like, wait.
You better take it easy.
I said, wait.
You don't know that those people are protecting...
It's bad enough.
It's either they're protecting their members, their family members who are already involved in looting the government, or they are protecting themselves too, because they know that when they finally get into government, their sole aim is
like, are you people like crazy? Like, we actually still can find a way to defend this wickedness. And you know what that just tells me is that the average, I'm sorry if it's going to offend people, but the average Nigerian is criminally minded. The average Nigerian is... I don't know how we got to where we are now. I don't know how we're going to live where we are. But it's safe to say the average Nigerian is looking for every way to cut corners, to steal from the next person, to steal from the government. Funny enough, you think you're stealing from the government, you're literally stealing what is supposed to be everybody's commonwealth. Because how is it okay to want to sell vaccines? How is it okay? How do you people sleep at night? I don't know. I might sound naive, but I don't even know if a reorientation is going to help us. Because at this point, it's just sad. It's just sad. We say, okay, the government is not doing this, the government is not doing that, the government is this, government is that. However, even the little one that it's like affects you and I, we still hear, you go to hospitals, everybody is doing as they like. The contractors on the road are doing as they like. They want the little that is even provided, which we all know is not enough. People feel that it is okay to steal. At this point, I don't want to give up, but I'm moving close to it.
Don't give up. Don't give up. The problem is the problem, and we will try to continue to create more awareness about these things, because honestly, it is time that something major actually happened. You don't know how it's going to happen. Yeah. Maybe it's from the top down, but we need a total overhaul of the Nigerian system.
Mindset.
The mindset.
It definitely is crazy. And talking about it, we're going all the way to Edo State, where the spokesperson to the governor, the new governor of Edo State, okay. So we have a comment. Akibitoye says, at Dolupo, we got here through decades of practice. Criminally minded. That's just another day at the office. It's just...
It is indeed.
That's why I said that. At times, it might sound shocking, but it just does it. You will think that I'll get used to it, but I'm not sure I want to get used to this horrible behavior of people. I just don't think I want to get used to this horrible behavior. Anyway, moving on, like I said, Edo State, as the Chief Press Secretary to the governor has said that they're looking out, they've set up a committee to recover vehicles from the immediate past Edo government, saying that there are about 500 still missing.
Isn't that the same thing we just finished talking about?
Yeah.
What do you do? Just replace the stationary with vehicles. It's still the case
same thing
of people.
Now, if they don't find this one, they will now use money that is supposed to use for something else
again.
Oh God.
The Ebonyi State matter, at least, is captured on video. That's not an alleged situation. Mm-hmm. It's not an allegation. This one remains an allegation until we see empirical proof. But these stories always crop up every time there's a change in government.
Oh yeah.
You even remember when it was in Ondo State where the former governor, the late governor, had parted ways with his deputy. I think it was impeached, or he was going to be impeached or something. And it was rumored that he had taken some vehicles out that he shouldn't have taken. Again, you assume that every politician that gets to that height should be above something.
Should not be hungry.
Yeah. It's rare. Picture a party that's a buffet. You get, you're allowed to eat as much as you want. Mm-hmm. Isn't that what buffets are about?
Yeah.
Have you seen that video of a guy that was at a buffet and they're telling him
it's 40K buffet?
They
must be mad. It is Nigeria today. Somebody dashes you 40K. What does he want to eat that is 40K? They are not well.
My man did not even answer them. Do you understand? He didn't listen to them.
The only reason why I would not eat it because I don't have that kind of tummy. But if you can, please do.
Yeah. So you get that concept of a buffet, right? Mm-hmm. That's what Nigerian politicians actually see when they are in charge. Because, and again, I think it's a poverty mentality. If you know that you can eat this type of food every day, you can afford it, you won't go and rush it now. Yep. I'm not talking that guy that did this, it was his money. That one, I don't have a problem with him. But I'm talking about at a party that you are now allowed to take food, you now start scooping everything. Do you get? But for person we get, you don't have to scoop because you already have it. Do you get the difference I'm trying to make here? So the people who have it, who can afford it, are also the ones that are still stealing it. Like, how are you alleged to have taken 500 vehicles out of the government. 500 vehicles.
On top what?
500. That's a lot.
That's a lot. I'm guessing that all those agencies and all these ministries, everybody just refused to drop their vehicles. It is really crazy. However, I'm still talking about a few things, because we've seen that the governor he seemed to have been upturning a lot of things that the former governor had done or been doing. We know that the Oba of Benin and the former governor Obaseki were not really besties at some point. Now the governor yesterday, actually, there was an announcement that the governor has now restored all the full powers of the Oba of Benin. There were talks of a few things about the devolution of the power of the Oba of Benin. That's one. There was also conversation about the returned artifacts, if it was going to the palace of the Oba of Benin, or it was going as a state government property, or the as a palace property. So those very interesting things. Now looks like Governor Okpebholo seems to be on the good. He and the Oba of Benin are on good side now, for now, because we don't know anything is possible. Anyway, Akibitoye says at SR, the issue is we're qualifying these people as politicians that presupposes that they are somehow different. They are first Nigerians. The poverty reaches deep. I agree with you. They're first Nigerians. I agree. Wow. Same thing.
As simple as it is, it's like going back to the basics. Like, don't presume that a politician is above reproach or above board. Apparently, of course, it comes from somewhere.
They're all the same, yeah. At the end of the day, they're all Nigerians. So just wanted to also put it out there, the Nigerian Air Force.
The governor Okpebholo, the governor of Edo, Okpebholo, and the Oba of Benin story that you brought up. It's interesting how now the video that was making the rounds a few months ago of the Oba of Benin, more or less advising the now former governor. Now then he was that, that 10 years don't last forever. He had to take someone to remind you that, look, you're only there for 8 years max. You get, and that's why you notice that once they are done with one particular post, they're looking for the next one. He wants to be senator, he wants to be president, he wants to whatever. Not because power. They really want to serve, but because they need just that power. Need to be in power.
Yeah, they need to be in power.
But it's a good job. Picture a job that doesn't pay well, but has a lot of perks. You know, because the job of a governor doesn't pay well. There are people who earn better than them. Salary wise,
basic salary.
The perks of that office, the ability to sign budgets and all sorts of things that you don't even have to account for, the security votes and all those things, and other things. Like like the traffic will never be an issue for you. There will always be food in your house. There will always be power. You don't have to pay for what you wear.
And you're not getting
what sued. Your family wears.
You ain't getting sued.
And a lot of states now have salary for life. I'm glad that they started cancelling it in different states.
Yeah, some of those states actually cancelling it.
It's
but we'll definitely see. We're moving on from that quickly. As like I said, the Nigerian Air Force has destroyed terrorist food depot and killed fighters in Lake Chad. Also, the NDLEA has arrested a businessman at Enugu Airport for ingesting 90 wraps of cocaine.
That thing must take a lot of practice.
He's amala.
Because how do you...
don't know why I'm laughing though.
No matter how big or small the pellets are.
If you eat a bar, maybe it will work.
How do they ingest so much?
I don't know. I don't know. I've never eaten such.
Money is good. It's good to flex. It's good to...
And then, there's always talks of a lot of people saying that those things like could burst and all. I didn't even scared. And I'm not sure people actually ever survive those things.
Man, look, again, your digestive system must be perfect. Like, that there are people who... Okay, we've heard about people who can go days without actually going to the loo, though.
Yeah.
Okay, so you get a pass on that one because
it cannot be
some
someone
of us,
like me.
some of us were programmed that daily you must, you know.
Some of us that is not even complete. That's the end. Anyway.
So you ingest this hard drugs, then get on a flight. Definitely, they won't be eating on the flight.
Okay, so that it doesn't digest a bit.
How now?
So if it's like 14 hours, they can't
can't
drink water.
I think that's one of the ways how they used to catch them. You cannot. You can't drink water. You can't eat anything now. Your bowels are already carrying a lot of
Wow.
of drugs.
So that's how they're caught.
At times, yes, that's how they are caught. These ones are caught at the airport. These ones that you're hearing about. But some of them, they are fingered on the flights by the attendants who see that, how can we go on a long haul flight and this person is not even asking for anything, he's not drinking anything, you know?
Yeah,
So-
I get your point.
So they just flag them, you know. When they get to the airport, they will be invited and say, okay, you come.
You come.
Let's have a sit down. Drink this tea.
Hey.
How do you like your tea? Iced tea?
Make coffee or creamer.
So the ones that make it through, they will now go to some person's house or some hotel somewhere, Abi, and now be...
Wait, I don't understand. You're not saying Abi. Do I know? I don't like this kind of thing. Don't be using criminality to...
You know all of this.
God forbid I know such. Why using Adibi with criminality? Please,
They'll now be sorting it out.
You're not telling me Abi.
They'll wear
Abi,
glove, Abi. Eh?
People that are watching, please help me to one SRO. Help me one SR. Kilo Shele. What's my own? Do I know someone that does it?
All right, but let's not lose sight of the great job that the NDLEA is doing.
Oh yes,
Kudos to
they
them.
definitely are.
At some point, that Dolupo will shed more light on some of these things for us, so that we all can learn. You know, she does a lot of research.
Be warned. Anyway, BT616 says, like they did Baba's way, he was like rich and powerful covered for him.
Yeah, you know, all those stories of...
Oh my God, yeah, that story was big then, though. That's true.
I think that was the downfall of Baba's way.
That thing was big
There
then.
was another Yoruba actor and one woman.
Yes,
like
now
that.
there was that one. I think she even went to jail. She actually did
Yeah,
go to jail
she
for
did
that
time.
one. Oh, she did time. And then she came out and there was a lot of... In fact, I think, was it last year or 2 years ago, I saw a video or an interview where they were now asking her and she's talking about how that was one of like the worst things she's ever choices she's made and all that. Blah, blah, blah. Anyway, moving on from that, let's go to a gist. A gist happened last week. I don't know if people followed that story, where a policewoman was said to have caught a colleague molesting a 17-year-old girl that was in
a police station.
In a police station.
Somewhere in Edo State.
Yes, and apparently there was I'm sorry, I'm looking for that English. They use a particular English to
They're more or less implicated.
Oddly room trial.
Yeah.
There was an oddly room trial, and it was said that both of them were the guy that did it and they were both culpable.
Yeah.
They were both dismissed. Our own husband, who is also a policeman, was also found culpable, but he was demoted. He was not dismissed. However, she's now come out to say that there needs to be proper investigation, as people are calling for another investigation from the IG. Now, there are a few interesting things from that story. Okay, Peterman says some of the government officials Mansingbere Ojuto see jazz laced Ojuti see these jazz laced travel bags. Oh, okay. Oh wow.
That's the people who...
Some of these government officials, Mansingbere Okay, Singbere Oju to see these jazz lace travel bags. Wow. Oh wow.
That's digital.
That's a lot of that's doing your work. That's everything that you need to do to make your work.
But it would be nice if they do that, use our own technology to catch these people.
Which technology? That was technology.
Is it not technology? It's like a scanner now. It's like you have some kind of scanner where you can like, you don't even need it. You don't need a sniffer dog.
You don't need that for those things.
No. You just say, hey, you step out. You step out.
You
keep going.
There's a radar. There's a radar.
No, they take people play. No, they take
but
people
do
play.
I think that those things are far-fetched? No, because the honest truth is, there is jazz.
I'm sorry.
There's a lot of jazz.
In 2024, if you still think that jazz is not real,
you have.
But even the Bible said that for you wrestle not against.
Even the Bible says there's principalities
and powers. There's power.
High places.
Agbarambe.
So he said, so they negotiate with the organs that sent them. If the payment doesn't go through, that's when they bust them. Okay. So it's some of these things is some things that we've heard before though. But anyway, Sha don't do anything that.
To be honest, I can't stay here and say this sounds too. You see, as I just quiet. A lot of times it's the truth. It's what's going on.
Yes, it is. So now moving on to the issue of this anti-police woman. So she's now come out to say that if this investigation is not done properly, she's going to take her own life and children. Now, so there are a few things to this matter. So according to the police, they said that the investigation that was made, was that video done? Yes. Was the man culpable? Yes. However, it wasn't released immediately, or it wasn't passed on. According to them, they said that she made the video and then showed her husband, and she and her husband were going to extort 1 million naira from the man. It was when the man offered them 45,000 naira, the other policeman that was caught. It was when he offered them 45,000 naira, that was when she released the video, which makes sense actually. As a policewoman, I'm not sure releasing the video was a smart thing to have done. Now, on her own side, she said that she showed her DPO, and the DPO had said that because that the man had run away at that point, that it was the DPO that gave her the idea that she should ask for a 1 million naira ransom.
Okay.
As a way to lure him out.
So the DPO should speak.
But when they got to the Oddly room trial, that he threw her under the bus and said he didn't know anything about it.
So these days now, if they talk to your guy, they record them new or something. Because
so
how do
you understand? Is he versus she versus?
It's his word against her.
So now the issue of the man that is that raped or molested the 17-year-old girl, he has been dismissed and is going to be charged to court. His own is an open and short case. Her own is, you did not, as a policewoman, you caught this thing, right? But you did not go through the proper channels. If the man had, what the police is saying is, if the man had given her the money, she didn't have any plans of outing him.
You know, I know that in the military, in the Nigerian military, and in many other military establishments, they have the military police. You know, and the Nigerian police used to have their own police too. But I have not really heard a lot about those people. Ideally, if they had some kind of system where she would not need, for the honest police person that wants to out another police person, is to send, you know, that thing to the police unit in charge of checking, you know, I think in some clients, they call them internal affairs or something, in charge of checking or checkmating policemen who have done wrong or who are doing bad things. In all of this, I have a feeling that if you look at the story, and obviously that guy is a rapist, probably a serial rapist, you know, but this woman, I don't think she's culpable. I just have a gut feeling about it that, you know why a story sounds okay.
Yeah. However, the honest truth for me is, at the end of the day, she's a policewoman. I'm sorry. I don't trust any of them one bit. And that's where my own issue comes from. Like, it's sad, but does it sound far-fetched that a policewoman a police person in Nigeria wants to extort.
No, it's not.
Does it sound far-fetched?
No, it's not.
Exactly my point. It's not hard to believe.
To conjecture.
So, do you understand? That angle could also be that she too is not like as if she got that 1 million naira. Are we saying that she was going to release that video, or even the DPO, they were not going to share it? Do you understand my point? And I'm not saying it's a good thing, and I'm not saying that it is what it is. I'm just saying that all of them in that whole mix, somebody, her husband, the guy that raped someone, the DPO, all of them in that whole mix, except there is some incontrovertible evidence.
It sounds like a sting operation to me, trying to get the guy to rope himself in. Mm-hmm. And in a sting operation, you could have still taken the 45K. You know what I'm saying? Okay. That now shows culpability. So for him to pay for that.
I think what messed that whole up completely was releasing that video online.
Yeah. You should have not taken that 45K. Then with the
video and then exactly. So do you understand? So now she said she's looking very, very, very what's the word now? She's looking very guilty at this point. That's
But suicide is not something that one should take lightly. I hope that people check in on her. I hope her kids are safe, and I hope she actually gets justice too. But the biggest person in all of this, nobody's talking about her, is that poor 17-year-old
girl. Yeah. It's such a very sad one at that point. Now, moving on from that quickly. One thing seems to be riling a lot of Nigerians up, and it's an interview that Davido had made, I think, over the weekend. I think it was in Atlanta, where he was talking about how some people were saying that they were coming to Nigeria and all that, and that they should stay where they are, that the economy of Nigeria is in shambles, in his exact words.
Yeah, so that has had a lot. It's been trending for about 3 days now, or 4 days. Mm-hmm. And I see it as a very unfortunate statement coming from a Nigerian, a top Nigerian, like Davido, who didn't he just get uncle? Didn't he get a commander of the Order of Niger the other day? He was given a national honor.
That his uncle is a governor.
You get
his other uncle was a governor
and a senator.
The senator. Oh, this one too was a senator too now.
Yeah.
And his father invests heavily, probably makes most of his money from Nigeria, and it is in shambles. I'm sorry, but I think
the way I see this thing is that yes, Nigeria's economy is going through a lot. The Nigerians themselves are going through a lot, but Americans are going through it too.
You don't see people. We're so used to just opening our mouth and saying just anything.
You are quick to always paint your country bad. There's a video of a man, it sounds like a South African or someone from Southern Africa who is in Abuja. It was in Abuja over the weekend. And the man went around Abuja, made a video, and it was just wowed by the infrastructure and a whole lot of stuff, And the guy kept on saying things like, look, you Africans that talk down at Nigeria, that forget it, Nigeria is not that country, that look, Nigeria is a beautiful place. He went around Abuja, it was bowled over, and he kept on saying a lot of nice things about Nigeria. And this man was talking about his own experience. He said they told him, if you're coming to the airport, you must hold money, blah, blah, blah. That he got to the airport, nothing like that happened. All of that. This is a non-Nigerian doing something to positively project Nigeria. In the same vein, I've seen videos online, and I hate this comparison, but I'm sorry it has to come up, of when Wizkid was talking to, I think there's a lady at Arise TV that was interviewing Wizkid during the Nigerian anniversary and all of that. And that lady had asked him some questions, and he said, look, that you can't put Nigeria down and all of that. You can't go and say bad things about Nigeria. You must always project Nigeria positively and all of that. And if you draw a parallel with what Davido said, you see that, look, one actually sounded more mature, sounded like one who understood that when you are on that pedestal, you don't use that platform to talk down your country, because you're demarketing your country for what reason? Because you like the crowd that is going to jump on it and say, yeah, we like it and everything. But there's no way people who want to go to America will not go. And there's no way people who want to come to Nigeria will not come. Some people will leave Nigeria to make it in other parts of the world.
Well,
Some will leave their part of the world to make it in Nigeria. And it was like when the Indian PM came and he had this massive reception, you know, and there was a whole lot of Indians that came out. And people were like, oh, they didn't know. Oh, yes.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yes, you won't know. But you see, everybody has something that they are doing and they are benefiting from it. And they're actually making money in this same economy. For as long as you join them and you're always talking down and everything, you will never make it. You will always be amongst the complainers of Nigeria. But is Nigeria great? No. I think it's really, but Nigeria is not as bad as you painted. And it's only when you go out and you experience other places that you now understand.
The interesting part for me is even...
He also sounded like he didn't even understand economics in any way.
Like if you're going
My man was talking about how Nigeria produces crude and it should be... Is it supposed to be free? Like if you understood, you wouldn't even be saying that at all in the first place.
It's
because crude is an international... what's it called now? Commodity.
I honestly think that other than the fact that there's a lot of ignorance involved, I think that a lot of people think it's cool to say just anything.
Oh yeah.
And that's the sad part for me. And I'm like, okay, so because of the likes and the, you know, the worst part is that this person has an uncle that is a governor that, let's call a spade, that is doing horribly.
No, you can't say that. Do you have proof that it's doing horribly?
Okay. Osun State is one of the best states in Nigeria.
No, I'm just being honest with you.
It is like, what it is. What are the indices?
No.
What is
exactly? How do you judge that he's doing horribly well? Horribly. How do you, like, seriously? Let's put sentiments aside. I'm not saying he is, and I'm not saying he's not. But are you sure you can actually make that statement boldly?
They're not doing anything great in Osun State. I'm sorry.
Okay.
I'm just saying. But if we even say, okay, Nigeria is horrible, if I'm correct, the Osun State is part of this same Nigeria, right? Are we saying that, oh, there's something that Governor Adeleke has done that has put Osun State on the map? Do you understand? That you now say, okay, no, his own is different. I don't know how. I don't know why we are where we are. And it's not just him. It's a lot of young people. It's a lot of people. A lot of Nigerians. I don't know when it became so cool to just say just anything about Nigeria. However, it's the same Nigeria you come to in December. You collect their money for tickets. And you are feeding fat on people's monies. But Nigeria is bad.
Yeah.
Anyway, BT616 says, you watch those Nigeria versus other African country debates on YouTube. Lord help you if the person representing Nigeria from a certain part doesn't end up bashing their own country in a versus debate.
Oh, so these things are about you defending your country, Abby? That's what these debates are about, right?
I'm guessing so. How do you represent Nigeria in Nigeria versus an other African country, and then you bash your own country? It was so bad that even the man rep in Ghana had to defend Nigeria. It was that bad. And I think that a lot of people think that it is actually cool. It doesn't make sense to me.
Where did
I'll rather just keep quiet.
Is it their parents? Did they get it from their parents? Is it from their teachers?
A lot of young people feel it is actually okay.
But talking down your country all the time actually is going to affect you too eventually. Trust me. You will get there. You know, it's like every time they go on Twitter and they write all these negative things, then they now go for visa approvals and they get turned down. They try to do business online, they get turned down. Then they are mad at the government. The government might be messing up on their own part, but you are doing worse because your footprint is there. Everything that you're writing online is there. And it's when they start all these, their Kenya versus Nigeria, Ghana versus Nigeria wars, South Africa. That's when you will now see when they go and dig up all your old tweets where you've been dissing your own country.
Yeah, and talking about people that are dissing their own people, I don't know. We've said it here before. I don't know whatever is happening with Mrs. Akeredolu, but it's not normal. At this point, it's not normal anymore. There's something There's something
there's
somewhere.
something that I like to say, but people might not get it. But I was still gonna say it. But I say this a lot. People do not change; they just stop pretending.
Okay, so there's no Mr. Akeredolu.
There's no
to keep her at bay anymore.
Now, so she's actually manifesting now. She's now the person that she really
As
is.
old as she
calls
is.
herself Ada something on Twitter, and she's
as old as
abusing
she
people,
is,
bashing people,
and talking
like,
about tribal.
talking down an entire tribe.
I'm
Look,
wondering, like,
there are bad people in every
a
tribe,
grandmother, man.
but you cannot generalize. You cannot generalize.
I
But this
honestly
woman,
would not have thought that someone.
And you know what she
old
thinks
as
she's
is,
doing?
yeah.
I think she thinks that she can walk her way into the heart of her people, and they will now give her,
Same people that chased you out.
Maybe they will dash her senatorial.
Okay, maybe it might. Okay, it makes sense.
So there's an end game for her.
Makes sense. I get the point. However, just wanted to put this out there. If I'm correct, I think that Mr. Simon Ekpa was arrested, I think Thursday or Friday.
Yeah,
Thursday. He was arrested on Thursday. Please, I'm still waiting for Mr. Peter Obi to say something about it, because he's very quick to sow threads on everything else that has to do with everything else other than the Southeast. I'm waiting for Obieze Kwesili to say something about it. I'm waiting for those Southeastern elites to, and this is what we were talking about on Thursday, how the Southeastern elites seem to be comfortable with the chaos. And before we came on the show, you said it that it will still sit at home today again.
Oh yeah, there was sit at home across the Southeast today, with or without Simon Ekpa. It has now become the norm,
Again.
and it is very disheartening. And that's why I was saying last week with cautious optimism that let's see what happens. It doesn't look like people really want to get back to normal, and this is the new normal in the southeastern part of Nigeria, and it is very sad. Mondays
First day of the
are
week.
supposed to be very important, but
I don't
Mondays people have to stay at home. Then Tuesday becomes the new Monday, and by Friday everything shuts down again.
No, I think schools are still opening on Saturdays now.
It's sad.
It's madness.
It's sad.
It is actually madness. It's not just sad. It's mad. Like, just mad. But anyway, just wanted to put that out
and
there.
a lot of people who were thinking that Ekpa's arrest would be like the previous arrest where he was let go. It doesning look like that.
It doesn't look like
it's been there since Thursday.
It doesn't look like
And they're not
that
letting
is
him out.
happening anytime soon. Okay, BT616 says Davido should tell his father to move his investment from Nigeria. Abi?
Yeah, he should.
Since Nigeria is in shambles.
So according to
Davido,
the
since
gospel
he's in
according
shambles,
to Davido.
then he should not bring his music here. With Nigerians economy that is in shambles cannot afford your
the
music.
current
And,
video that he's pushing, he came to shoot it here in
is in
Nigeria.
shambles.
It's
in
sad.
shambles.
Stop talking down your country.
They don't have sense.
Stop talking
Small
down
sense
your
like
country.
this you people
Stop
don't
it.
have.
Stop it.
Anyway, employ PR people, at least they teach you what to say. Is problem. But anyway, talking about people talking down Nigeria, an American woman who made a video who was said to have been duped by two
At
separate
least twice.
Nigerians, still has good things to say about Nigerian men.
It's actually very sad and shocking. When I saw that video, I felt very bad for us as a country where, the same person was targeted by Nigerians online with romance scams. She talked about how the first guy, they were together, at least dating, maybe online dating, not in the shop, for about 8 or 9 months or thereabout. And he had made a mistake one day to call her with a Nigerian, because he claimed to be someone else. She showed the video, a picture of who he claimed to be. Then she now found his real image online and found that he's getting married to someone else. She's seen videos of him throwing monies at baddies, like she said, Nigerian, what those people call this day. There's this new name for
Strippers?
No, just call girls. They have a new name now. Anyhow, she said she saw him throwing money and doing all sorts of things. And the second one also scammed her. He said he wanted to go to school, and that's why he did what he did. That one came clean. that he had helped. That he had thanked her for saving his mother's life, you know. And I just couldn't what I think she was going to mention the third one. I don't know. But the funny thing is that in this video, this lady, she's a white lady. I'm sure she's advanced in years. Maybe she's like 60s or something. In my opinion, she might be late 50s or 60s. And she was talking about how Nigerian men are still the sexiest, they're still the nicest, and all of that, and that she doesn't have a problem with Nigeria or Nigerians. You know, she's just been scammed by a few horrible people, horrible Nigerians who go online and prey on the frailties of these women.
Yeah.
And men too, they do it to men.
Yeah, they actually definitely do it to men too. Just wanted to put this out there. Dangote Refinery has said they've taken off 20 naira off the cost of petrol to marketers. If that is going to reduce, if marketers now are also going to reduce that price by 20 naira, we'll see.
There, Mr. Aliko Dangote, we don't care.
20 naira can be a lot.
I really don't care. That's not, look, it's actually heartbreaking. But they should go.
Anyway, quickly moving on from that, there's updates for people that have been wondering. Actually, there are updates on Bishop T.D. Jakes. I think had health scare yesterday on the pulpit. It's said from his church that he's stable now. However, before we leave all these,
I had a feeling that he wasn't well at all because I saw him sitting down.
I have a feeling he wasn't well at all.
He probably shouldn't have gone ahead.
And I was reading it. He had a sermon of over an hour.
Yeah.
He probably should not have done it in the first place. I agree with you. Also, Ivory Coast decided to get the whooping of their lives.
And that story is now trending globally. Like,
though it was horrible. It's 271 to 6, if I'm correct. So there was a 264 run difference.
264 runs, man. Difference.
It has never happened before. It has never happened before.
It's the worst result in cricket.
Ever. And
the sad part is they are new to the game, but man,
rather not go.
The Nigerian cricket team is wicked.
You'd rather just not go. At least have a bit of it's a lot. Quickly before we go, Leicester City has now sacked their manager at this point, Steve Cooper. You can't blame them. They're not doing really good. And
Ruud van Nistelrooy has been linked with that job. We don't know if he will get it or not.
Go, exactly. Ed Sheeran seems to be slammed for being disrespectful as he had gate crashed Sky Sports interview. This was after match interview with the new Manchester United coach.
Amorim.
Apparently, Ed Sheeran is an Ipswich.
It was disrespectful because, again, a draw for Man United at Ipswich is like a loss.
Yes, it's not great.
The way everybody had talked about Amorim, they were expecting that, they were just...
and the fact that it's Ipswich, I thought it was probably going to be a walkover.
Being a star, I don't know, Ed Sheeran should have controlled himself. How would you feel if some person...
It's Ed Sheeran. Everybody would... Attention would definitely just move from him.
Just picture someone coming to crash Ed Sheeran's show. Another artist, maybe a bigger artist, maybe a Beyonce, comes on stage, takes the microphone from you and starts to sing. Oh God, what happened?
I think he didn't calculate that.
That's wrong.
He didn't calculate that well on that one. Before we go, this year Mariah Carey is set to mark 30 years of her famous song, the song that always goes back to number one every single December. That song is now 30 years. All I want for Christmas is you.
Dear Christmas celebrants across the world, let us look for another song. I beg of you guys.
As in, we wish you a Merry Christmas. That actually talks about
all the Bonnie M songs. What happened? This song every year, like jazz,
it just goes to number one Billboard chart, number one every year. It's not. So it's that 30 years, and she's planning to celebrate that in a big way.
She should just stop. You know, if she not sing again, every year,
she's making it.
Her pension is guaranteed.
Oh yeah, definitely. Anyway, on that note, that's all we'll be able to take. However, before we go, please, what exactly is happening with Manchester City?
Let them play Champions League tomorrow. Let's see.
Village people see war. Right? It's
5 games on the bounce, man. It's never happened to Guardiola
Village
before.
people is look. It shouldn't even happen to anybody.
Someone said that from the day,
and it's lost. So
from the day Erling Haaland had opened his mouth
so,
to tell Arteta to be humble, he has been
humbled.
Yeah.
He has been humbled. Anyway, that's all we have to take today on the bar. Thank you for listening. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for all the comments. We'll be back again tomorrow at 3 p.m. West African time to give you another wonderful edition of the Boom Bar. Do have a beautiful, beautiful day ahead. Peace.